All right, so what is up, my ninjas? I am here with ODC That's Me, and we are going to talk about Toyfair 2016. All the cool stuff that we saw.
Yay!
So, I think we're going to start off talking about with NECA, with the stuff NECA, showed that we liked, because we're big NECA fans. We love just about everything NECA does, so it's going to be kind of easy to...
Yay! Good stuff first.
I know, right?
Bad stuff last.
Exactly. So, I want to talk about the Ninja Turtle, the quarter scale Ninja Turtle from their movie, one of their other movie lines. I love what that thing looks like. It puts the freaking Playmates one to shame completely. Like, they're only doing Donatello right now. I don't know if they have plans to do the other turtles, but shit, I'll buy them if they do. Yeah. I will buy them.
They released this. I think someone on Twitter released that the guy that runs the department for the 1/4 scale. He said, "Don't worry, we're going to do more. Can't say much now, but that's about it."
God, so that means that 6-inch scale ones are coming. So we'll have the best movie turtles that we've ever had. Period.
Yep.
I can't fucking wait.
So they're going to do all the turtles in 1/4 scale, and then we'll probably do them in 1/12 scale too.
Yeah. Can't wait. Can't fucking wait. Then there's the Alien 3 figures. I saw Ripley. I saw the dog alien. And I saw some others that I didn't recognize. I mean, I know what they are. I've seen them in the movie, but I don't remember what the designations are for them. They even had the, like, riot troopers that were, in the prison. They're still killing it with their alien stuff. They even had Predator shit, as they always do.
Yeah. They'll never let those go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They've knocked them all out of the park. Every single Aliens and Predator figure. It's like
they're bread and butter.
They're just they're on top of that shit. You know what I mean? Like, they know what they're doing.
Well, and it's like they have free reign. Like, they can do whatever they want from any of the movies, and nobody cares. No one's complaining. Nobody's saying, like, you have restrictions on how you can do it. I mean, I think the hardest battle they had was doing, what's her name? Ripley. Because Sigourney Weaver is a weirdo about her likeness and guns and all that craziness, you know?
Yeah, but they got her now, so...
Yep.
I mean, the circle is complete.
Exactly. Then let's see what else. So they had are you into the Heroes of the Storm at all?
No.
Those are the ones,
so.
The NECA video game stuff from the guys that made Warcraft, Blizzard. And they have all kinds of, like, monstrous looking characters, but they have some cool ones too, like the StarCraft Ghost character, and some of the World of Warcraft guys look cool. Remember, we were looking at we were looking at the Mythic Legions, and we were talking about wanting, like, orcs and fucking, barbarians and stuff. It kind of scratches that itch if if that's the kind of stuff you're into.
I see.
What else? They have Nathan Drake looked awesome.
Yeah, he looks sweet.
I can't wait for that, because the only Nathan Drake figure I know of was the Play Arts Kai one that came out years ago. Like, what was that, 2012 or something like that, or 2010? I can't remember. It was a long time ago. It was when God of War 3 dropped.
Yeah. And they're actually continuing it and calling it a Ultimates. I think pretty much so it's going to be an Ultimate Nathan Drake. They're really wanting to push and continue that line, is what they told everyone.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's going to come with an extra head, his AK-47. He comes with his whip.
Yep.
And he also comes with his 45. So he says 2 heads. I mean, that's pretty good. I think that's pretty good.
And the shoulder holster. The freaking shoulder holster is removable. You can take the gun out of the shoulder holster. Yep. Hasbro, you need to pay attention. Jesus.
Yeah, but Hasbro, it'll come fucking molded in.
Yeah, like with Taskmaster, which I talked about that with Agent O the other day. I was so disappointed in that portion of that figure. What about Kratos, man? We got to talk about Kratos. Good God.
Oh, my God, that figure.
Yeah, man.
I've been waiting for a good figure of him for a long, long, long time.
Me too. I only have the Ares armor, Kratos from God of War 2. And that's not much of a figure. I mean, the upper body is a figure, but the lower body is a statue pretty much. And that was disappointing as hell. So, like, this is going to be awesome.
Yeah, and the cool thing is that the packaging looks just like the game.
Exactly. Just like
and they're just keeping that up.
Yeah, like Dante. They did the same thing. I think they're doing that with the Contra guys. And they did that with the Rambo. Yeah, they've done that with like a bunch of them. Yeah, the Terminator versus RoboCop. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. And he comes with the Nemean Lion gauntlets from God of War 3.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Yeah, because it's based on God of War 3. So
exactly.
It's going to be... Whew,
it's
going to be amazing.
I can't wait.
It's fully articulated. Like, I mean, it's... Oh, man.
I can't wait. I can't fucking wait. That's a character I've been waiting for a long, long time.
Yep.
Then
and you know what the best thing about it is?
Well, it's going to
be around $20 range.
Exactly. Take heed, Hasbro and Mattel. I really can't get on Mattel as much because even if their figures these days aren't really that crappy, are crappy, like the Batman versus Superman figures aren't the greatest, they're still $20. You know what I mean? Like some places jack up the price, but they're supposed to be $20. So at least they're doing that. The Contra
Nathan Drake is 1/4 scale too.
Oh, the first one that they're showing that's 1/4? Oh, they're doing both.
They're doing that. That's the one they showed was 1/4 scale.
Really?
Sure.
Oh, I thought he was regular.
Yeah, because when you look at all the figures on the shelf.
Oh, you're right. He's huge.
He towers over Kratos.
Yeah, you're right. But that means they're doing one that's 7-inch scale because they said they're doing the video game ones and they show the boxes and everything. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I
can't wait. Either way. What about the Contra guys?
Oh, Contra, I love you. I when this was announced, I was, oh my god, head over heels, and now I can't wait. I think it's like a month away.
Yeah.
Before they're released.
Yeah.
So I can't wait. It's going to be an amazing 2-pack.
Mm-hmm.
Even the box, man. Oh my god, the box. Like, just the box alone, like it screams Arnold and
Stallone, yeah.
And Sly, you know.
I can't wait. I mean, at first I was kind of like, but then the more I look at it, I'm like, yeah, I got to do this. And I'm
Would you still go see? I don't mean to get off topic.
No, go ahead.
But would you still go see a Contra movie even if they're really old?
Hell yeah.
Oh my god. I would go see it. I don't care. I don't care how much CGI they need to do
or
to
how
make
many
them young.
Or how many stunt doubles. I don't even if they're old and they have stunt doubles that are doing all the fast shit to make us believe that they're still like in amazing shape, you know? Like I don't care cuz I freaking love the Expendables. I freaking love I loved everything. So everything Sly's done since the Expendables, I've loved it. Fucking bullet to the head. People hated the movie. I'm like,
I like that movie too.
It was an old school action film. I liked it. You know, it was cool. Freaking Escape Plan.
People need a backstory for everything.
I know. Just explain it to me.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
Little whiny bitchy millennials.
Yeah, it's all you got to do is just like sit down and enjoy the ride. And that's the way it was. Like Expendables 3 wasn't the greatest, but it had really good action. I enjoyed it, especially the last like
it's for.
Exactly.
It's like it's supposed to be a Hall of Fame action movie.
Exactly.
It's not supposed to have it's not supposed to be heavily story driven, you fucking retards. It's the Hall of Fame of action movies.
Exactly.
It comes with every single action star you could ever ask for in one movie.
Exactly. And that's what makes it fucking amazing, and I don't understand why people have problems with this, you know? I'm like, whatever, guys.
They're boring. People are boring.
Yeah, it's just they don't have imagination anymore. Like, it shouldn't be that difficult, you know? Like, it's for fun. You can have fun with a movie, you know, or with characters. Everything doesn't have to be realistic.
Exactly.
But going back to Aliens, did you see they have the Queen versus the regular Queen versus the Red Queen? And I think that Red Queen might have been out for a while. Well, I know the red xenomorphs had been out for a while, but I didn't know there was a red queen. Like, I had no idea.
Where does Ho at?
It's on, when you go to, on Toy Ark and you go to their Predator, go to NECA, and then go to the Aliens and Predators section. And it's the first picture. Yeah, we're getting a lot of our images and our news from Toy Ark this time.
Oh, I see it. Okay.
Yeah.
I see it. I must have passed over. Oh, yeah, she's got the power loader.
Yep. She's kind of holding them both off. I need
to get a set of those eggs.
Yeah.
Those eggs are pretty sweet.
Yeah. And then do you see those soldiers?
That's pretty cool, man.
That diorama is freaking amazing. What the fuck?
That is sick.
God, I didn't even like...
I love that it's got horns. The red alien's got, like, horns coming out of it.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Yeah, I didn't even like Alien 3, and I still think this is all amazing. I still would be interested. Because, like, in my mind, I have a better idea of what the movie could have been. And then watching the movie, it's kind of like, nah, I don't know. I mean, visually it was there. It felt like Alien, you know? But, like, you kill off main characters in the freaking first 5 minutes of the movie without any, like, anything.
Yeah, that I did not like. They killed off
Newt and
they killed
Hicks.
off Hicks.
Yeah.
Why the hell would you do that?
Yeah.
I mean, unless they just didn't want to be in the movie.
Which it can't be, because the freaking Michael Bihn's coming back for the new Alien film. So he's got to want to be in this shit. Like, you could tell he wanted to be involved still. So, I don't know. There's a lot of weird shit when it comes to Alien and all the development. And I'm big into, like, a lot of how it happened. It's just, there's a point with the films where I'm just like, okay, I'm going to pretend that didn't happen, and I'm only going to acknowledge certain ones. But this shit looks good. That Ripley looks really cool.
Dude, that Ripley looks amazing.
Yeah. She looks really cool. I like that her eyes look fucking like she's alive. They don't look like two dots and that's it, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Hasbro.
Exactly.
Hasbro.
And the freaking, these xenomorphs that they have, like, I think it's the the 8th image, I'm sorry, from the top. Where they're all crawling towards, like, a door, and there's one xenomorph standing kind of straight up, and the other one's crawling with the dog alien. They look fucking phenomenal. The way the striping on their heads, and what the fuck, man? I don't know what NECA...
They need to sell. They need to sell those fucking dioramas.
I know, right?
To do too.
Hell yeah!
Could you imagine that?
Good
like a
Lord.
diorama building kit.
Like that? That would be awesome.
The first toy company to ever start doing that is going to make a fortune.
I know. Because there's customizers making a fortune right now doing that shit.
Yep.
Yeah, all these xenomorphs look awesome.
Yeah, that little dog alien is pretty cool looking.
Yeah. He's gross as fuck, but it works.
It's so ugly.
It works so well. It's funny because, like, my little brother and I were big on the Kenner Aliens line, and we had so many fucking different types of xenomorphs. I think the last one I got was the Panther xenomorph that came with Vasquez, and I never saw that in anything, but shit, we played with that shit like crazy. I just remember... No, go ahead.
Look, I gotta look that up. I don't remember what that looks like.
The Panther alien? Yeah, it's like
I don't want to fuck with that alien.
I know, right? It was like...
I'm not fucking with that.
They had like they had a bull alien, which was pretty dope. He had horns, and he had like his head was big, and he had like a battering ram action. They had the.
Oh, I remember this. It wasn't a movie, wasn't it?
I don't remember. I think maybe later on, like, they put it in a movie, but it definitely wasn't in Aliens. It was in something later. And I always wanted Vasquez to have a smart gun, because her and Drake had smart guns in the movie. And that's what made her so badass. This little chick with this big ass gun, you know? Like, but only in the figures, they only gave Drake the smart gun. But, God, I remember, man, we played the hell out of those figures, man. Oh, man. I'm not messing with that Panther alien. That thing is creepy looking. It's
fucking
crazy. And then there was like a snake alien. So it was like a xenomorph with all that patterning with the bone and the like the exoskeletal bones and shit. And it didn't have arms or legs, and it had a long coiling body. And then it had like these crazy mandibles like the predator, and it had this like chomping action like a cobra. So if you hit the button, its head would just reach out and try to snap at you. Shit was insane. It was so imaginative. But the more I talk about it, the more I want to go back and find those guys because they're not super expensive now.
No, they're cheap.
Yeah.
Did you see that? There was a NECA 2-pack that kind of like went underneath my nose. Like I never even noticed it existed until I was, working at Toys R Us and stocking shelves for a little bit. It was you remember that old school 2-pack with the Predator vs. Alien from a long time ago, where he had the removable mask and it came with an alien, and it was like Predator vs. Alien.
It was by NECA, right? Like an older.
No, it was.
Or was it by McFarlane?
No, it was. NECA made a 2-pack, like head to toe, the exact same deco, everything.
Oh, you're talking about the Kenner.
Came with a comic. Remember, it came with a comic? Yeah, from Kenner.
From Kenner. Okay, yeah, I remember that.
That is a fantastic 2-pack.
Yeah, yeah. I only saw it recently. Me and Agent O were looking at the AVP, the Aliens vs. Predator figures, because someone posted them on something. I think it was probably Toy Arc, because that's usually where I'm at. And yeah, Toy Arc, give us money. We're plugging you. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Sponsor us, Jim. Sponsor us, bastards.
Oh no, but they yeah, I saw it on there, and I was like, damn, we were looking at the Aliens versus Predator stuff because it was all under Predators and NECA, and we saw that, and we saw another 2-pack with 2 Predators that was mimicking a Kenner release, an older Kenner release too. So they're really doing good stuff with this like throwback releases of figures. You know what I mean? The packaging and everything. Like, I really like that. I really like when they do that stuff.
Well, it just seems like they're like the guys that work there just have fun, and they're like us. You know what I mean? Like they're just like, oh, remember this when we were kids?
Mm-hmm.
We should make that, and then they actually do it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Instead of bullshitting around and teasing it for 2 years and then it not happening, Hasbro.
It's true. It's so true. They actually do it. Yeah, Randy Falk seems like he's a good guy. Like, he's really into this stuff. Like, it's not just a job, you know? That's awesome, though. That's why we love NECA so much. I mean, people say what you want about the quality of their figures, because I keep hearing that people are breaking their NECA figures, and I'm like, what the fuck are you guys doing to these figures? Because I've never had
one NECA figure break on me.
I had one, yeah, my Michelangelo, my NECA Michelangelo. He fell and his like hip broke, but that's it. I think, and there might be one other one. Oh, it was the that Predator, the Enforcer Predator that I took back and then bought a new one. The foot wouldn't stay in because it was defective, clearly. But typically, yeah, I even play with them and nothing happens. You know what I mean? Nothing falls off. Yeah. Freaking Arnold.
You know what? I take that back. The one, it wasn't the figure that broke. It was
the spear.
Rambo First Blood, where he's got the machine gun towards the end of the movie.
Yeah.
The end scene of the movie. He took a dive. I think Oreo knocked him off the shelf, and his gun snapped in half. So I just threw it out. But that was like the only thing that ever broke on a NECA figure for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't get it, man. People keep saying they're so brittle and frail and blah blah blah, and I'm like, what are you actually doing with them? Like, none of them break. Like, if you play with them or pose them the way that they're meant to, like, look at the joints and see how they work, and don't go past where they're supposed to stop. They won't break. Like, I don't understand what people are doing.
It's like they're like I'll watch a lot of reviewers, and they're like really rough with their figures. Like, they like just grab it, the ankle bends and it's got a hinge like this. I'm like, figure. And then you're gonna bitch about that the quality was bad.
Exactly.
You're like wrenching down on your figure. It's plastic, don't forget. Like, you're dealing with plastic. You're not dealing with fucking metal.
Exactly. Exactly.
You know?
Well, and like, if you actually play around with the figure a little bit, you'll see that like this joint can only go so far. Like, there's people who, like, you remember when we were talking about Cap and the Cap Wolf figure they just released, and how like when you put the arm, they cut the shoulder hinge really short, so you can't just like out at his sides, you know, lateral. You can't put his arms all the way up to his head because the shoulder doesn't work like that. You know what I mean? There's people who want that on every figure and like force every figure to do it, even if they can't do it. And then when it breaks, they're like, "Oh, it's shitty quality control." It's like, no, different companies engineer their figures slightly differently. You know what I mean? Like, your NECA figures typically don't have Marvel Legends of motion on. I mean, they're usually better. It's more generalized, but they don't have the exact, you know, points of articulation. You know, like, they don't usually have an ab crunch. They don't usually have double jointed knees, but they got enough so you can kind of, you know, you can get the poses off, you know? It's just weird. Folks don't seem to like look at what they can actually do before they try to force it, you know? I just can't do it. I'm like, nah, I know what they can do, and I'm gonna, you know, a lot of times you can just eye it and tell, you know, just looking at the figure, you can tell. So, I don't know, but yeah, my NECA figure's perfect for me, man. Like, I'm waiting to find a Christopher Reeve, which I'm gonna have to break down and just pay the $40 and get a Christopher Reeve Superman and see if I have the problems everybody else seems to have had. I had 2 Batman figures from the Keaton Bats and no issues with either of them. I even took the first one apart to paint him, put him back together, and I didn't have any issues. So I'm like, I don't know what all these folks are struggling with when it comes to NECA, you know? Sometimes
it's like they're throwing their figure against a wall. Saying, oh, the leg broke off for some weird reason. I don't know why.
I don't get it. I really don't get it. I don't. The only thing I can give them is sometimes, a lot of the times, if they have a lot of weapons, especially with the Predator figures, the weapons are made out of very brittle plastic. With the exception of the sword for the armor lost Predator, that sword feels fine. It's the freaking glaive with all the spikes sticking out of it. That thing flimsy as fuck. The shoulder cannon flimsy as fuck. On the Enforcer Predator, the freaking staff with the spear head, you know, at the tips, those things break out of the fucking package.
That's like I said, like my machine gun snapped right in half. It only took one spill.
Yeah,
one fall.
That's all it takes sometimes.
It's like their plastic is almost like hollow. You know what I mean? It feels like that brittle, hollow feel to it. You know? But if you flick it, it makes a certain sound.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they use. I mean, maybe it's cheaper, and this is how they keep costs down. Is that they use the better plastic on the figure, and you usually have a mixture of plastics on the figure. But the materials they use for the weapons are usually a lot lighter than what they used for the actual figure. So I mean, maybe that's how they work their magic. You know, I'll deal with that too. I'm not even complaining. I'll just be extra careful. You know, But yeah, man, their Predator shit, they're killing it with their Aliens and their Predator stuff. It just, I have to get around to, I guess maybe it's the fact that I never see all this shit in the store. I have to actually get around to like a little list and pick out the ones I want. Because I need the 3 young Predators from Aliens versus Predator. Because those are my favorite Predator designs of all of the Predator designs. I mean, I know some of them are overkill with the sword or the claw that turns into a sword that turns into a freaking longer sword. You know what I'm talking about? He like, it just was like it kept going and go. It was like Wolverine, Wolverine, Vega, Baraka, and you're like, Jesus Christ, like, dude, okay, cut something already.
All right, Jesus, just keeps extending.
You know, I know, right? Baraka, then Deadpool from X-Men Origins, like it was just ignorant. But I love the look and how like the Celtic one looked like a freaking football player. He's like huge shoulders, just looked like he was ready to just bum rush stuff. Like, I loved it. Hated the movie, but loved the designs for a lot of things in the movie. I almost wish they would give us a queen like that queen, because there were lots of details on that queen that I liked. But
that's still one figure I really need to get.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
I need to get that queen alien.
Yeah, me too. I'd get her and call my brother. I'd be like, look, I'll send you a freaking ticket. You can fly here from Jersey, and we're gonna play with the old aliens figures and the new aliens themselves, the new xenomorphs. So it could be a little scarier. Yep. We're gonna geek out for a couple days. No shower, smelling musty. No showers. We're gonna be musty as fuck.
We're gonna smell like an alien right after we're done playing with the aliens.
I'm talking cereal and shit. Eating cereal, playing with action figures all fucking day. Telling you, man, this shit would be awesome. That's
Eating Five Guys and playing with action figures.
I'm telling you, it's like one of those things. I think we all need that. Like just like a couple days of just pure turn into a kid and just forget that you work and all that other shit. I mean, obviously we'd have to set up how we do it beforehand, but like, it needs to be done, because shit, there was nothing like that back in the day. Just you get home, you have like a vacation time off from school or something, like Christmas vacation or summer vacation or something, and you just fucking geek the fuck out with some action figures and like your brothers, your friends, whoever, and just play. Like, shit doesn't ever happen anymore. It's nuts.
No, it doesn't.
It's like
it just doesn't.
All we do is work, then we look at our figures, then we go to sleep, we do it again.
Yeah, I go to sleep. I work and I look forward to looking at my figures, eating, and going to sleep, I guess.
Oh, man.
But how cool would that be if they came out with the alien queen, big, birthing sack?
Yeah.
You could, attach it to your queen alien. Oh, that would be so gross, but so awesome.
You remember the Kenner one had it, and it had goo that went in there. It had the eggs.
Yeah, you got it. Remember the Ninja Turtles?
Yeah, it had ooze. Yeah, just like that.
It should have some ooze and shit. That would be sweet.
Yeah, it would. I'm telling you, I might have to go back.
$100 for that. I would.
I might have to go back and get those aliens figures, man. Because good God, they were so cool. So many of the little things they did were fucking cool. I might have to do that. The freaking gorilla alien, you remember that? It grabbed.
Yeah.
The grabbing action.
Fucking Jesus. Crush it with one hand.
Oh my God. Yeah, that would be awesome.
That would be so cool.
But
all right, I got a question about the Predator figure that was shown. There's 3 boxes there. There's one that says Predator Concrete Jungle. Then there's a regular Predator one. Then it says Predator 2 box. And there's only one Predator shown.
I think one of them is... Oh, those are all video game Predators.
Yeah.
Yeah, because one of those, that's the PC. The one in the middle is the PC game. Predator 2.
Yeah.
That was a Genesis game. That's the clan leader.
I think that one that they're showing is from the Concrete Jungle game.
Yeah, with the skull. Yeah, that's him.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, he looks that figure looks amazing, and it comes with a different head.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that.
Looks so good.
I like that a lot. I never got around to getting the video game one, and I like the look of that first video game one. You remember? You know what I'm talking about? You mentioned it in a video a couple months back.
I think I have it.
Yeah, you do. I think when you first started, or right before you started at Toys R Us, you picked it up.
You need to get that Dark Horse one, dude.
That's what I'm talking about. I want.
Oh, that one?
I want to get
the comic book one.
The comic book one. Yeah, that's what I meant.
Baller.
The comic book one. Yeah, I never found it, man. I'm gonna look for it on eBay or something.
No, dude, I think Big Bad Toy Store still has them.
Really?
They have them.
But
they have them up. Let me check the price. Pretty sure they're it's the same retail price, probably $24.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out. Yeah, I actually have started making collections on eBay finally, so that when I'm looking for shit, I can actually delete them as I get them, so I know which ones are which when I'm trying to complete a collection. Because I did that with Cops, and then I forgot about it. And then like it would pop up. I'd see it every now and then, and I'm like, oh shit, that actually exists. I forgot I could do that. Like a checklist, so I could know what I'm looking for. But I'm gonna have to start doing that again because I'm gonna be looking for. I know this is off topic of Toyfair 2016, but still, it's toys, and this is what we do. So I'm gonna go back and at some point collect Exo Squad because Exo Squad was my shit when I was a kid. I had like the majority. Do you remember Exo Squad?
Oh, what? Just to iterate, they do have it in stock and it's for $24. You know, the regular regular retail price. So they do have them in stock though.
Cool.
What was it?
Exo Squad.
I have to take a look. Hold on, let me take a look at it.
It was like military, and it had like the big blue guys with like the huge. These. They were huge, but the regular military, they used exo frames, and they always had fucked up haircuts.
Oh, I remember these dudes.
I had so many of them as a kid, man, and like I left all that shit at my mom's, so like, you know, I can't go and get that shit back, so I'm just like, fuck it, I need to go and just start over.
I had the dude with the shaved lines. He had the lines shaved in his head.
Yeah, you know JT Marsh. He had the flying mech or frame.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the leader.
There was that like alien dude. He looked like Martian Manhunter kind of.
Yeah, those were called the Neo Sapiens. They were like biologically engineered to do, you know, work that humans couldn't do, like terraforming planets and shit. And then they revolt. And that's what the war is. The war is like the people versus the thing they created, you know, because they're like, why do we have to be slaves, essentially, you know? So then they're like, fuck humans, we're not going to be slaves anymore. And then it's this big back and forth. I mean, it's really interesting, well-written shit. It feels so serious, you know? And they play everything so straight that it doesn't feel like a kid's cartoon at all, you know? And I don't know, I loved it. Freaking loved it, and it just was.
I think I just don't remember enough about the story because I think I was probably really young when this came out.
Yeah, it came out in the early '90s, I want to say. I
was probably like 8 years old then. I was born in '83, so
yeah.
They came out in '90. I was,
Yeah.
I had the toy, but I don't think I remember just like when I was a kid having like a ton of these toys.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd never seen any of the shows.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, my mom bought it for me. She's like, oh, this looks cool, and I'll buy Anthony this.
Remember those days?
Like, here, try this. Like, I remember my mom, what was it, the early 80s when she brought me home because she went to Japan, and Japan had all of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoons on VHS way before the U.S. did.
Yeah.
Before it was even aired.
Yep.
And she brought me home 2 of them. And it was literally like the first 4 episodes on these 2 VHSs. Yeah. And I was watching and I was like, oh my God, that's when I got hooked.
Yep.
And I was like, but she would always like bring me home like a toy, like, oh, here, let's, try this. It's something different besides Batman all the time. Star Wars.
Exactly.
Because it was Batman and Star Wars, you know what I mean? And so she would bring me home like, what was that one, the Skeleton Cowboys? You know what I'm talking about? Skeleton? What,
Cowboys of Moo Mesa? That was different. Skeleton Warriors. Skeleton Warriors was a show.
Warriors.
Yeah.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, I remember that. They actually a company called October Toys just did a Kickstarter. They did one last year, and then or the year before, and then they did one this year of Skeleton Warriors. They brought it back. It's pretty cool shit. Yeah, pretty cool shit, man.
Yeah, I remember I had that one dude. I had the cowboy dude with his horse. Oh. She bought me that, and then she bought me like a couple villains.
Yeah. Yeah, all that
I was
shit.
Like, damn, these are sweet.
Yeah, I miss those days where it was like that. Because I mean, you go to the toy store now and everything is so commercial. Like you can't find You hardly ever see
original anything.
Yeah, it's all keyed to like a TV show or a video game or something else, you know, and you just can't find new shit, you know.
It's because our generation has taken over the nostalgia market.
Yeah, pretty much.
We've taken it over, and we're like, well, we only want to sell what we remember, which is fine. That's good. I don't mind that, but I mean, I would like to see some new stuff happening. Like, I feel like there's no like new cartoons that are like original ideas. Like, we had so many original ideas in the 80s. That was like the best part about the 80s and the early 90s, that there were a ton of original ideas out there and original shows, and people actually fucking, you know, put their balls on the line. We're like, this will work. And even if it didn't work, it was still entertaining.
Exactly.
Like, you still found it entertaining, even if it didn't last.
Exactly.
And people are just, I feel like people nowadays are just afraid to death of their own shadows and don't want to get fired from their jobs. So they're just like, we don't want to take any sort of risk. Like, no one wants to take a risk anymore. It's
true.
A shame.
That's true. It's sad. It's very sad.
All right, sorry, I went way off topic.
No, it's okay. This is what it's all about, though. I mean, like, you know.
Damn, all this Exo Squad talk. Bringing back childhood memories.
I know, right? Let's see. Let's jump into something else real quick. There's so much NECA stuff to talk about. God, Rocky.
I know.
Rocky. Clubber Lang,
Rocky.
finally.
Oh, I'm so glad that they are bringing this line back that has been touched in like a year and a half.
Yep. Fucking Clubber Lang, man. That's one of my favorite guys from Rocky, and it's just awesome that they're doing this.
Yeah, and they brought him back, and they're just redecoing him, which I think is a good way to kind of recharge the line for that portion of the line, because it's like they kind of like fell off, and they're even just redecoing Rocky himself and just giving him a title belt, and I think that's perfect. I think that's the right way to go.
Yeah, shit looks good. It looks great. I mean, it's not like you could ever doubt the amount of quality that, you know, NECA is capable of, because the characters always look the part. I mean, their likenesses are amazing. Even the finish on the figures, they look sweaty because they gave them a gloss finish, but they're obviously not wet. The figures aren't sweating. It's just, they did such a good job with the look. I mean, you're looking at them and the light hits them the right way, and it's just like, shit, that looks like what they look like in the movie, you know? Clubber Lang looks like he's sweating. And it doesn't look, I don't know, they just did such a good job. The texture of his hair, the whole nine. Rocky's fucking flock of seagulls shit looks good. Like, it's freaking amazing, man. Like, it's just like, I can't understand how NECA can do all of this, and then all these other companies can't even get it close.
Not even close.
And then they charge $20. $20 for like 95% of what we're looking at is going to be $20 in the store. $20 to $24. You know, except the big oversized deluxe things and the 1/4 scale figures, they're going to be $100. But still, you look at that stuff and then you look at the rest of the industry, and it's like, why is it that NECA shit makes sense and it looks like quality, but everyone else is so far behind and so confused about how to charge for what they make? You know what I mean? And how to pull all this off. It just doesn't make sense to me.
It doesn't. It really doesn't. And one thing to add with these Rocky figures is that one thing that NECA needs to jump on, and it just occurred because the WWE has turned their back on Hulk Hogan. Now, I'm no advocate for Hulk Hogan, but
Thunderlips. Thunderlips.
His contract with Mattel just ended.
Yeah.
So he's no longer under contract with WWE or Mattel. He's a free agent. NECA needs to contact him and do needs to do a
Thunderlips figure. Yeah, hell yeah, that'd be awesome. I mean, we're all gonna make him get beat up by Rocky anyway, so
yeah, exactly.
It may as well, man. That would be freaking amazing. God, I was telling somebody else about Thunderlips a while back. God, who was I talking to? I was someone at work or somewhere. I was like, Hulk Hogan was in. Yeah, it was one of my coworkers. She had just saw Creed, so now she started going back watching all the the Rocky films, and I'm like, yeah, you know, Hulk Hogan was in Rocky. She's like, get out of here. I'm like, yeah, he was in a Rocky movie. I think what was it, 2 or 3? 2, right?
It was 3, because that's when he's been the world champion, and then Clubber Lang comes along. He did that whole scene with Thunder Lips as a charity event, and then it got out of hand.
Yeah. Oh, it's so awesome, man. I'm telling you, like that would be super dope. Like super dope. I don't know.
They're actually coming out with that ring too. That ring is going to be included, I think.
Really? You know, I want to get the ring from Mattel had released a ring for their Create a Superstar line, and the ring was like you could change it and add stuff to it. You could have scaffolding, and you could have a cage. You could do all kinds of shit. I want that. I want that for my Street Fighter figures, so I can have them fighting in an actual ring. But
absolutely.
Let me see what else. Let's move on to, because I know you got to head out for a little bit. Let's head to Mezco.
So hello, Mezco. What's your name?
I know, right? I know, right? Mezco is just, oh my God. Mezco is killing it. And they just like kind of started jumping into all this, you know? Like,
yeah, they started with, I think they started with that Batman figure, and they were kind of like, let's see how it kind of goes.
Exactly.
And then they were like, okay, let's do it.
Yeah, man.
And then you can just tell from all this release that they're just like, okay, let's do it.
Yep. They're freaking the 1/12 Collective stuff. Oh my God. So they're doing a Batmobile. The Batmobile looks insane. They're doing, and it's probably gonna.
I can't imagine how much that's gonna cost.
Yeah, it's fucking like I don't want to think about it, but I know, like I want it. I kind of want it. I really do.
It's like you're the little kid on the playground. The big kid comes up to you, and you're kind of cringing before he hits you or something. And it's like,
I know, right? Like, yeah, man. I looked at it and I'm like, this looks amazing, and then I'm like, but the price, fucking the price, man. I don't want to even think about how much it's gonna cost, but good God, they look amazing. The Batmobile looks amazing. The actual figures look amazing, and they're not just like doing DC stuff. They've got Marvel figures. They've got their their Captain America. I know you were pointing out that he looks kind of weird. But it looks like there's 2 of them. There's 2 different ones. There's one that's more comic book oriented, and then there's one that's more like, I don't know, like a movie kind of type deal. And the movie one looks better, in my opinion, than the comic one, because his suit looks like it's supposed to be bulky. The Green Arrow that they did, oh my God, that thing is amazing.
That Green Arrow is
fucking amazing.
The Punishers, dude.
Yes, the Punisher figures.
Holy shit! Like, wow.
Yes, indeed, man. I couldn't believe that shit. And I'm a big Punisher person, so I need that. I need that figure. But they're gonna be $75 a pop. That's the hard part about them. It's like, holy shit, dude. Like, but I mean, then again, I guess it's not as bad as it could be because they're like miniature Hot Toys in a sense. So
they are, but I feel like they should be $50 or $60.
Yeah, 50 would be awesome. Shit, 50 would be really awesome.
Even at 60, I wouldn't have a problem paying, but 75, that extra $15 is really...
It's a lot.
Oof, that hurts.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Because you're not going to get a bunch of these, you know what I mean? Like, unless you have a deep bankroll, like, I mean, who's going to buy 10 or 12 of these? No.
I know, right? Drug dealers, yes. That collect comics.
Drug dealers, yes. You know, that sit at the trap spot, yo. Rap about it.
Trap life?
Yo, I used to sit at the trap spot, yo. I used to be a drug dealer is what I'm saying, and now I collect toys. I'm cool. Subscribe.
Oh, man. But,
sorry, I don't want to get shot.
Oh, man. Oh my God. It's true though, man. Like no one there's gonna be a few of us that can afford all that shit, unless we're getting like review samples.
Unless we're at the trap spot.
Oh shit! Oh. But yeah, $75, man. It hurts my heart. It hurts my heart because it was hard to find that Batman for a decent price, you know. And now you've got two more Batman figures that are going to just disappear off the fucking shelves or wherever because they're Batman. You know what I mean? Like, I would love to get this Mezco Dawn of Justice Batman because it's more on point than some of the others that I've seen so far. And they're actually using real materials and shit, but it looks better than the Hot Toys one. Because his muscles look right, and the suit looks like it's sitting on a body with muscles, as opposed to the Hot Toys one being a skinny body with a suit that has the muscles in the suit. You know what I mean? So it looks baggy on him. This looks closer to what we saw in the the trailers and, you know, what Batfleck actually looks like. So I don't know. The Superman looks kind of weird, but I don't know what it is with them in Superman. He probably will look better in person, though. But the Henry Cavill head.
That, you know, it's the same. I'm the same way with that comic version of Cap.
Yeah.
They showed. Like, I think it looked. Now that I've kind of like keep looking at him.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't look that bad.
Yeah.
Like, he looked. His thighs just looked huge.
Yeah, because his pants are all baggy and stuff, and they probably shouldn't.
And it's supposed to be like skin tight. Like, I get like they're trying their best. They're using soft goods. Like, it's gonna happen. You know what I mean? Like, you look at the Black Series, and not all the Black Series are perfect, but they're trying. At least they're doing it. You know?
Yeah. Well, and these look really fucking good, though. I mean, even for like
they do.
Even when we nitpick them, they still look amazing compared to like a lot of the other shit that's out there. You know? You see there's different.
Like that Red Daredevil looks amazing.
Yeah, he does. It looks better than the one on the show. It looks way better than the costume he's wearing on the show.
Better. That's the red he should be.
Yeah.
That's the red he should be.
And the mask.
It shouldn't be that dark maroon shit.
Yeah. I mean, and where the mask sits, it looks right. Like, it's like they took cues from all the best versions of the character. That shit looks amazing. But the Punisher, man, the Punisher looks fucking amazing. Both versions, just with all the scars.
Both versions are just amazing.
Fucking bullet holes in his chest. I like the fact that the skull is the bulletproof vest on the one version. And actually on both versions. But on the other version, it's more of like the traditional where he has the bulletproof vest underneath his costume. Whereas the first one where he's got the black gloves and stuff, the Garth Ennis run version, it's like everything is like right there for you to see. You know, like armor is on the chest. He's got all the clips on his belt. He's got the freaking dirty boots and dirty gloves, and he just looks like he's already been wrecking shop, and that shit looks amazing. So yeah, Mezco's killing it. They're fucking killing it.
I might have to get both versions of that Punisher.
I know.
Like, I might have to splurge and get both of those in that Cap.
I was thinking this. I have to get the Green Arrow. Green
Arrow is
man.
I think it's the best one.
It's the best Green Arrow. Yeah, I think that and the freaking Batfleck, just the best. They look so good. I mean, like, even the armored suit, that's the best looking armored Batman that is on the market right now. I mean,
basically.
Like, the armor actually looks like it's an exoskeleton. Like, you can see the joints on the knees. It doesn't look like they just sculpted it that way. You know, it looks like they put the other figure into this armor, and that's what they did, you know? And you can see the standard armor underneath the armor plates, the huge armor plates, which is freaking awesome. That's the way it should be. Shit, man. There's a lot of... they're going to be making bank. For real.
Yeah.
And the figures are probably not...
the only ones that I really have issues with are the Superman, the Flash looks weird, and Shazam.
Shazam looks terrible. He has no personality. I mean, like...
He's just like stagnant face. He's supposed to have this big cheese grin.
Yeah, that's the whole point. He's a little kid who gets to turn into a fucking adult superhero. Like, come on. Like, you'd be cheesing too. Like, why is he not cheesing? You know? What is he, like 10 or 12? Like, he would be so happy.
I mean, oh yeah, you're 10 or 12 and you just reached puberty, and just by saying Shazam.
Yeah.
I'd be pretty happy too. I'd be like, holy cow, my dinger just grew like.
You know, and you got super strength and super speed. Yeah, you could do whatever the fuck you want to do. Like that, I don't know. I don't get how he has no personality. But I think maybe as time goes by, they'll get a little bit better, and they'll give you maybe multiple heads for the characters or something like that, so that you could get the expression, and it won't just be because I mean, Batman, the first Mezco Batman had 2 heads, so I don't see any reason why they can't do it for some of these other ones. Give us like a head with emotion and a head without it, you know? The sculpt on the Henry Cavill Superman is fucking insane. That head sculpt is so on point. Like, it looks just like him.
The Batman one looks a little bit... It's like they can't... I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's like it's still a little off.
You think so?
And granted, I do a little bit. I don't see... maybe it's just in that first picture, that one angle that they have. It's like the straight-on angle. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And then they have almost like a quarter profile picture. That looks more like them.
Yeah.
The profile almost. But the dead-on one doesn't look like him. It looks pale. He doesn't look... I know it's just a flash.
Yeah.
From the camera, but I don't know. I feel like no one has perfected his look yet.
Really?
I feel like it's gonna... Yeah.
I don't know. Even the Mattel one has a pretty decent likeness. And the Mattel one is shit. The Mattel one is, like, in comparison to all this, the Mattel one is just fucking mierda. It's, like, pure shit, like, in comparison. But even that one, like, after I put the fucking custom cape on him, I just had him standing up, and I'm like, shit, that looks like a different figure already. The cape and, like, more paint on his beard, or his scruff. It's the sculpt's there. I think it's always how they paint it. Sometimes they're too fucking... They go too thick with paint. And you lose the sculpt underneath that, you know?
Yeah.
But,
yeah, that's true.
These guys are fucking amazing. The fucking Green Arrow, though, like, easily the best. Next to the Punisher, though, it's the best one of the bunch. They look so good.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would totally agree with that. That is perfect.
Yeah. It shows...
perfect.
It shows you that they could do that on screen, and it's not going to look stupid. Like, they keep saying, like, you know, Van Dyke looks bad, you know, on a guy in real life. And it's like, yeah, but you don't have to go full on. Just give us the essence, a goatee and a mustache. That's it. That's all we're saying. Yeah. Facial hair, not scruff. Full on.
People could do it on Black Sails. I don't know if you've ever seen that show.
Yeah.
The pirate show on. Fucking awesome, by the way.
Yeah.
Way better than fucking Arrow.
Yep.
But, I mean, people have it on there. I mean, what's the issue? I don't know.
It's like it
I
only...
know that was the time, but who cares? Like, everyone's their own individual. I'm sure people have Van Dykes today.
Yeah.
People walk around with different facial hair. People grow beards out. Like, look at all the athletes, like James Harden and all these people that grow out beards. Like,
exactly.
What, we can't have a superhero with a big beard now? Like, because it's not believable?
Exactly.
No, I'm sure everyone's got different types of facial hair. Who cares?
Yep. I agree.
So.
I agree. But,
even the Star Trek figures look good.
Yeah, they do.
Like, they look
amazing.
Kirk looks amazing.
Yeah. They did a really good job.
Space Ghost looks good.
Yep. Yeah, they did an awesome job.
I think Spock looks the best.
Yeah.
That looks just like Leonard Nimoy.
Yeah, it does. It does. I like what they've done. I mean, like, I don't have any issues with any of the details on those guys. They look awesome. I saw, real quick, I'll probably go into it a little bit later, but they did, so Mattel, I have to bring them up because I'm seeing funny things here. Mattel, they have Suicide Squad figures, and they have animated. They did a new Doomsday with like way more spikes and stuff, and it actually looks pretty good.
It's the new 52 version.
Yeah, I don't think he looks so bad.
He's gonna be of the Build-A-Figure.
He better be. He better be.
Yeah.
They got the Lex Luthor in the prison costume, with the chains and shit on him. I think that's Lex. Let me look and see.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, I like that.
I like that. Like, I'll definitely get that the Dark Knight Returns armored Batman.
Yeah.
And I'll probably get the mutant leader just because I don't own a mutant leader.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, there's never been released one.
Yeah, other than Mezco.
And
we're not paying that for that figure.
I'm not paying that shit.
Yep.
No way.
I agree.
But it also looks...
cartoony.
It also looks pretty good, though.
Yeah.
It looks cartoony, so it's good. I also like that the one thing that I do like that Mattel did do that not a lot of other companies did do, which was deco, not final.
Exactly.
Just calm down, everyone. Everyone, oh my god. And not to go off point here, but I know we're talking about Mattel for a second.
Yeah, yeah.
Mattel's smart for doing that. This way, it tells people, shut the fuck up, calm the fuck down, these are prototypes.
Exactly.
Don't take them seriously.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Everyone is flipping out over the Leia figure.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, guys, chill out. Either A, it's a figure that you don't have to buy if you don't want it.
Exactly.
But I mean, there's people like, oh, I'm going to sell my collection. This is awful. Oh my god, I'm done. The world is ending. The Earth has reversed rotation. It's going the opposite way now. I have to live. I gotta kill myself. Everything is ending. It's World War III.
Yeah.
No, it's an action figure. It's a prototype. Calm down.
Exactly.
Be patient.
Exactly. I agree.
But I'm glad Mattel did that.
Yeah, I got to give them props for that. Like, I didn't think I was going to like what they were doing. And looking at this stuff, I'm kind of impressed that some of that shit, even though, it looks cheap in comparison to what we're now used to with collecting imports and collecting higher-end figures, still, there's a lot of selection. There's a lot of different versions of characters, a lot of shit I didn't think I would see. Like, the freaking Joker. They did the freaking movie, this new Suicide Squad Joker. Like, I didn't think they were going to do that shit. And Katana and Croc, all characters that, like, I think there's only one other Mattel Croc. And it's from way back when, DC Superhero, or precursor to DC Superheroes. So, like, it's kind of nice that or did they do two of them? I think they only did one, and he was pretty bad. Like, he was cartoon accurate, kind of, or comic accurate at the time, but he didn't have a tail. He didn't have all the articulation. Yeah, he was weird. So, I give him props for trying. Captain Boomerang, he doesn't look horrible. The paint jobs just look so sparse on these guys. Like, they need that last bit of airbrushing over them, Like, Croc looks good. He looks like the movie, But,
those are 3 3/4 inch, I think.
No, these are 6-inch multiverse. They've got all the
those are, dude. No, those are 3 3/4 inch.
No, they're not all of them, because they're right next to some of them.
They are. Look at the leg joints and look at the single bends at the elbow.
DC, all the
it's
DC
different from the 6-inch stuff. Because the 6-inch stuff starts with the Build-A-Figure, Doomsday, and all that stuff. Like, those are 6-inch, but the other ones are 3 3/4. Like, even look at Aquaman. Aquaman is a 3 3/4 inch too.
No, maybe he is.
Yep.
Let me see.
Because they got no bicep swivels. They have swivels at the elbow.
The Joker has a bicep swivel, and so does Croc.
No, not the shirtless one.
No, I'm not talking about the shirtless one. I'm talking about the one with the jacket on. He's shirt.
Yeah,
he doesn't have.
These are 3 3/4 inch.
But he's got bicep swivels and such.
Yeah, but because he's got a single bend at the elbow.
Don't the normal figures? Don't the normal like Mattel never gives them double jointed elbows. Like, none of the figures have, except for what, Blue Beetle, Robin. I think that was not Tim Drake, but remember there was one wave. I always say line. One wave where they gave everybody double jointed stuff and then they never did it again, which is freaking stupid. I think Blue Beetle had it. And then the old school Robin, classic Robin with the 2 heads, he had it, or the 2 curls. I mean, he had it. I don't remember if freaking Jonah Hex didn't have it. The Riddler didn't have it. Mercury might have had it. I can't remember. And then Batman, the Asbats, had the double jointed knees, but he had a swivel at the elbow and a bend at the elbow, just like these guys. I think it's a mixture because, like, when you're looking at what's her name? What's the girl's name? Shit, Katana. She has the DCUC joints in her legs, whereas like the multiverse figures, the 3 3/4 inch ones, they don't. Like the Joker with no shirt on, that's definitely a 3 3/4 inch one. You're right, but the one with the thing on, maybe it is a shorter one.
No,
they all look taller. Look.
No, but see, the thing is that when you see the Joker without a shirt on, and then you see Deadshot standing right next to him, and then you look at the one with the jacket on, they're all standing next to each other.
Yeah.
These are all 3 3/4 inch.
But then there's another Deadshot that's not holding the machine gun. His beard is grayer, and he has all the articulation. He even has an ab crunch. That one is a 6. He even has a different head. That's a 6-inch figure. I think it's
but there's no bends at his elbow. Look at his elbow. There's no bend there.
Yes, there is.
There's no hinge joint. Look. There's no hinge joint in his knee either.
There's gotta be. Because even those figures have.
No, look.
Maybe because it's
all sculpted. It's like 5 points of articulation.
Maybe because it's a prototype.
Probably
they haven't.
Gimmick.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. That also, it could be a gimmick figure. But I think because some of these, because look, there's the Batman figure is here, and it's the 6-inch one standing in front of Captain Boomerang, but he's got an extra head, and it's not even painted.
But that could be 3 3/4 inch. Though.
It can't. Look at all the articulation. I don't think it's the same. It's got the same exact joints as the one I have. I just think that it's the 6-inch one with the, because I mean I haven't even seen any whatchamacallit. Look at the eyes on that guy too. There's no way that's 3 3/4 inches. That's exactly the goofy ass knees, the goofy K legs and fucking knock-kneed Batman that I have right now. Because he's got the head, the standard head, and the little batarangs and everything. There's no way they're putting that.
But the 3 3/4 inch. If you go to the top of the page, 3 3/4 inch other Batman.
Yeah,
has
that
the
one.
Exact same knee-knocking legs. They have the same articulation in 3 3/4 inch as well.
I don't know.
This is why it's kind of tough to tell because it's. I mean, they have some 3 3/4 inch that have articulation, and they have others that have like 5 points of articulation, so you can't tell what the hell is what, you know.
But the ones.
That's what I'm talking about with Mattel.
Yeah.
If I can't tell a 6-inch figure from a 3 3/4 inch figure, there's a problem.
But I can tell because the ones that have the DCUC leg joints, those are 6-inch. If they don't have those joints, then they're 3 3/4 inch because the only figures with those leg joints are the 6-inch ones, all across the board. Like even if you look at like Nightmare Batman, quote unquote, he's got the DCUC legs and he also has an ab crunch. The multiverse 3 3/4 inch figures don't have ab crunches and they only have the standard T joint where their legs can go forward and back. So any of the ones you see with the DCUC joints, that's the dead giveaway that it's it's a bigger figure. Like Aquaman, he's got the freaking DCUC joints, and I've seen him in package. He looks too small though. Good God, what the fuck?
I don't know. I'm not a fan of any of these figures.
No.
6-inch.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of them, but I'm just saying, like, in comparison to what they usually do for film and TV stuff, they're actually getting shit out there that will probably sell. You know what I mean? Like, the freaking Lex.
Oh my God! Look what they did with Captain Boomerang, dude.
Which one?
Dude, that's Bane's reused body.
Oh, it is.
Body is Bane.
It is.
That's so lazy.
Oh my God! Hey.
That's awful.
I guess there had to be one where they did that shit.
So lazy. They're so lazy.
Okay. From this point on, it's just me. ODC had to go to work, so I figured I would finish off the rest. I'm going to fly through a couple of these because there are a bunch that I'm not really that interested in, like this Batgirl. It's the Batgirl of Burnside. I like the look. But I mean, I prefer the more classic look, or the standard look, like what we're gonna get in the Arkham Knight series. But I like that the base is her bike. It's a nice bike. She has an Icon's body, and that's a plus. So she'll have some good articulation. Now these, we've got the Darwin Cook and the Capullo series Aquaman. Darwin Cook, Green Lantern and Catwoman, and Capullo Aquaman. Not really. I don't care. Icons. I only want that Wonder Woman. That Wonder Woman looks amazing. The others look good, don't get me wrong, because they fit the series or the stories that they come from, but not my cup of tea. The Dark Side, I may have to pick up the Dark Side if he's that much bigger, because I really like what he looks like, and if you look at him, you see that he's got the articulation that we were promised when the Icons first came out. Now this is from Christmas with the Joker. This is animated series stuff. I'm going to go through a whole bunch of animated series stuff. It looks good. I haven't really gotten on the bandwagon yet. I only have 2 figures from the animated series, which are the Superman from the Superman and Batman from Gods Among Us. I mean, Gods and Monsters, I'm sorry. Anyway, these guys look great though. Especially Zatanna. I don't have the Zatanna, and I didn't get the DCUC version of the Demon. And the fact that he comes with Clarion is pretty cool. And you even have a little Teakle over there if you look closely. So yeah, these 3 might be must-gets for me, because I'm trying to figure out where to jump in at. I might have to jump in with the Phantasm set. All of these figures, the sculpts look so good. The problem is the engineering seems to be poorly done on so many of them, and it's something you never hear in any of the reviews. People will say, "Oh, you can't stand them up, or you have to lean them against something," and they don't list that as like an issue. For me, that's an issue. I don't like that. I prefer when my figures can stand up and I can admire them by themselves. This Firefly is fucking horrendous. There's nothing to him. I mean, I know some of his joints aren't cut in there yet, because these are the prototypes, but man, it's just not an interesting looking design at all. You know what I mean? Like they should have skipped him altogether, but I know they're gonna probably just do every villain that appeared in both versions of the animated series. Now on the flip side, this the ventriloquist, gotta get him. Bullock, gotta get Bullock, and I actually like this version of the Joker because it's like the older Joker, and I dig that. Talia looks pretty good. Them childbearing hips. These guys, they're going into the Batman and Superman stuff. I just want to see more. I don't want any of these people. Maybe Livewire, but I don't really care about any of them. But I want more Superman shit. That would be amazing. This Clayface is going in my collection. He's going to replace my DCUC one as my default Clayface, because at least he's a consistent sculpt. They didn't do the rubber arms and all that shit. It looks like he's plastic with ball jointed, arm or elbows and, pin disc arms. Batman Beyond stuff. You get an old Bruce and Ace, as well as a Terry that comes with wings. And these wings look like they fold up. You can see hinges on them. So that might be a must for me. These guys here from Legends of the Dark Knight, that one episode with the kids talking about what they think of Batman, or what they think he really is like, no. I'll probably get the Carrie Kelly, and that's it. Watch them make this a box set. This right here, this is the Batman, Robin, the Bat Signal, and the Batmobile set. It goes for like $150, $160, something like that. No, I already got the Batmobile. I don't need to buy it again just to get those 2. And this seems to be a trend because Mattel is doing this too. With they've done it already actually with their 66 Batman series, and I'm not like, I almost picked that up. And maybe I will when it goes on clearance. But this is a little too expensive, and I don't have it like that. I'm not going to go down this road. So, they're really doing it big as far as selection goes. I got to give them props for that. There's so much coming out, so you guys have so many characters to pick from. You just can't say that there's no DC product out there. There's so much DC shit out there. It's ridiculous. especially that now that DC Collectibles is finally on the ball with really getting into the stuff that we're all big on, instead of just giving us figure after figure after figure of shit going on in the comics that none of us care about. They're actually doing things that collectors and fans of these shows actually care about, and for me, that's cool. I'm not complaining. I'm just not going to buy everything. Like this set right here, I don't know. If I see it for a good price, I might pick it up. Um, I'm definitely doing a Phantasm and Batman because that's the only way I'm going to get, a good price on Batman. Now this, I told ODC I was trying to look away from it. I'm listing this and showing it for you guys, but this is going to be a pass for me 100%. I'm not paying no $200 for this Batwing. No. No. It's going to be another big ass paperweight that doesn't really do anything. And I mean, yes, it's cool that they made it because it looks exactly like what the Batwing, how the Batwing appeared in the animated series. But no, I'm running out of room for GI Joe vehicles. How am I going to put this thing in my man cave? Supposedly those bolts, the holes where the screws go, will be covered up on the final. So props to them. They're probably going to come up with like a locking mechanism, kind of like on GI Joe vehicles, so that the top half locks to the bottom half. That'll be cool. But yeah, this is not for me. It's way too big, and it's probably going to have an insane price tag for 6 scale stuff. So I'm sorry, not 1/6, 1/12 scale stuff. So no, nope. I'm just going to pretend that I don't see it, so you guys can marvel at this, and thank toyark.com for those wonderful images. Like I said earlier, or we said earlier, all these images came from toyark.com. We didn't take the images, we just are commenting on these images, on what is being shown to us, because you got to do that every now and then. It's a beautiful sculpt. I got to give them that. They really, really did the damn thing with the look of this vehicle. And it's nice to see 1/12 scale vehicles. I just wish that the price tag would go down, because they know damn well it didn't cost that much to make. For real. Shipping is probably expensive because they're weird shapes, so you got to have long and big boxes or deep boxes. But, come on. Anyway, moving along, you got several versions of Harley Quinn. This is a story I don't know anything about, so I don't really care. I'm tired of Harley Quinn. They kind of force feed you Harley Quinn on a regular basis. And yeah, she was a cool character, but we don't need that many versions of her. These are the accessory sets for your icons. I think it's a good idea. A lot of people had issues with them. I don't mind them. I don't mind them at all. Onto the Arkham stuff. This is an Arkham Thug and Batman 3-pack, and I'm kind of annoyed at how many times they're selling you Batman figures. Like, I know Batman is like the top seller, but it seems like they're always finding a way to resell you the basic Batman that you can still find in the store, in your comic book store, always reselling you that figure with other figures that you might want. And I'm not really down for that. You know what I mean? Here's Harley as she appears in the Batgirl. I think it was called The Matter of Family DLC. I like this look. This might be my default costumed Harley Quinn when I get her. I hope there's no weird exclusivity to this figure. This will just be offered at your comic book store because it's nice. I said that when I first saw the DLC. I was watching, friends play it. Like, I need that. Now we were talking about this on several Off Our Brains ago. This 2-pack, I think it's going to be a GameStop exclusive. It's beautiful. We're getting Babs in the wheelchair and Babs as Batgirl. This is the Batgirl that I want. This is the Batgirl I actually like. I like the capable, like, super heroic Batgirl. I don't like the relatable, super, like, she makes all these mistakes and she's so normal, but she happens to be fuck that shit. I want Batgirl who looks like she would beat the shit out of somebody. The Batgirl that, villains don't want to deal with. I prefer this look. And I like the fact that they gave us a Oracle who is she's wheelchair bound, and the legs don't have articulation, so she can only sit and probably move forward and back in the chair, and then her arms have the articulation as well as probably her torso. I think that's dope. It's the first time I'm seeing them do it like this. You know what I mean? And then you have the Batgirl who has full articulation and has fist hands, open hands, and then holding things hands. That's all I've ever wanted from a Batgirl figure, and it's strange that only the Mattel one gave you fists, but she couldn't hold anything, and she didn't come with anything to hold. So yeah, this is a must-get for me and for fans of Batgirl. This Poison Ivy, I don't know. She looks boxy. But, you know, she's being offered for those of you who like this version. I prefer the one from Arkham City. Excuse me. And that's the one I'm going to be picking up sometime soon. She's another villain of Batman's that I have never had. Never, ever had a Poison Ivy figure. I don't know what it is. I don't know why I've neglected this character, because I actually like Poison Ivy. She's kind of cool. But, yep. I'm going to be picking that up. I forgot I had to go back in and point out that they're doing a Harley from Batman Adventures. I like the look of this. And she comes with both heads because her design didn't really change that much. It was basically just her face. So, yeah, this might be a must-get for a lot of people because, you know, a lot of people just love Harley Quinn. I am not one of those people. The best Harley Quinn, in my opinion, so far, it's either the Arkham Knight version or the not the Icons version, the Arkham Knight, or Jesus Christ, what was that game? Injustice, the SH Figure Arts one. Here, this one looks like it's the classic one. It's a designer series one. I don't know who drew this, and it's probably right there on that tag. I don't care. I'm not really into this. Like I said, it's Harley Quinn. Movies. They're doing movie figures. And these movie figures look amazing. They almost rival the Mafex ones. At least the Wonder Woman does. That face sculpt is amazing. You know, I wasn't all big on Gal Gadot being Wonder Woman. And then, you know, after I saw her, you know, all finished training and in costume, I was sold. You know, she has the look, and she's, you know, kind of unique looking. So she doesn't really look like any other Wonder Woman we've seen before. And they got her unique features down. You know, she's just exotic enough. Here's your Suicide Squad and your Dawn of Justice Lex Luthor. I like that. And it's kind of weird because these two members, what is his name? El Diablo and Harley, Mattel didn't do those figures. At least not yet. So, you know, it'll be weird to have these standing next to the Mattel ones, but hey, they look amazing. But they're going to be at a higher price tag. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, you know me. I want quality for my money. I don't want to just spend the money just to be spending it. So, we'll see. This Feora, my God. Actually, even Zod and Jor-El. I just might have to, whatever it is, I might have to find a way. I need at least a Feora, because the one that Mattel did was horrendous. And the Jor-El was like different colors than this. So it would be nice to get one that is the right colors, you know. But I love it. They just look so good. And I didn't talk much about the Batman and Superman. I'll go into detail about them, at least I think with Superman here. I like what he looks like. You know, if that articulation actually holds up, this might be my go-to before I go and get the Mafex, or, you know, instead of getting the Mafex version. Like, if they're posable and it rivals your SH Figure Arts and your the Mafexes themselves, because you see there's some similar articulation, like in the shoulders and the ball-jointed legs and stuff, or at the hips, I'm sorry, and the double-jointed knees and elbows. I'm telling you, this might be a change. And she comes with the helmeted head and the unhelmeted head, and look at that cape, and it looks like it's cloth of some sort. I'm almost 100% sold. So it's just a matter of seeing them in the store. If the fidelity of the sculpt is still there, and the articulation and the build quality works with the articulation, then, like I said, it's a wrap. I'm not even going to worry about those Mafex figures, because these will be playable figures, because you know they're going to be made out of more plastic, like heavier plastic, and they're going to have the same level of articulation and like even more detail. Shit, I'm all there. So, you know, just know that this is going to be something I will definitely be reviewing when the time comes. Now, for some reason, they don't have a Batman, like just a regular Batman yet at all, which is strange because everyone else is doing a Batman. So it's kind of weird that DC Collectibles is only going to do an armored Batman, but whatever. Look at that face sculpt for Michael Shannon as Zod. That's nuts. So this one, I'm gonna be like 100% flying the flag for these guys. Like, if they hold up, you best believe I will be pushing these hard. Like, you guys need to pick these up because I am anxious to have movie figures of my favorite superhero stuff and actually be able to, you know, like utilize that and show you guys what, you know, how cool these things are and just see them in my collection. Because I prefer movie stuff to the comic book stuff when it comes to the designs and such, you know? And I'm super excited about Wonder Woman. More so than probably any of the others. Wonder Woman just looks amazing. That sculpt, the paint, I mean, it's all stuff that we expect from DC Collectibles. And holy shit. This is fucking amazing. I mean, that's one of the best looking Wonder Woman toys I've ever seen. Plain and simple. So it's probably going to be in my collection. Um, I don't know. I don't know what else to say about those. I'm just super freaking impressed. Super impressed. Um, Icons. I still want this version of Static just for the nostalgia. You know, I'm not a huge Icons person, but nostalgia and the fact that I was really big on this book, and it was one of the better books of the Icon books that were out. Yeah, I need it. I really need it. Um, I don't know what else to say about that one. Cyborg, though. Cyborg comes with a whole bunch of stuff. And I really like what I see from him. Uh, Hopefully this figure might run a little bit bigger. If he does, then he's definitely going to be one that I'll pick up. If he doesn't, then I'll pick him up. Mainly for the extra parts and stuff, you know. Just to have a smaller Cyborg to hang out with my Teen Titans. But even though this is his Justice League attire, you know. I like that he's sleeker. That's the best part. This Deathstroke, I don't really need it because I already have, you know, the DCUC version, which is very George Perez. So I don't really feel like. I mean, I know this is the one that looks like the artwork in the Judas Contract, but I'm good. You know what I mean? I'll probably pass on it. They're doing another boxed set, like they did with the We Can Be Heroes New 52 box set, except they're all icons, and this one will actually have Bruce Wayne as Batman instead of Dick Grayson. He's still about the same size, but these guys look good together. So if you were going to start your collection with this, then it's cool. You know what I mean? You know, I already said I'm all in with that Wonder Woman. Um, I might be all in for that Flash. I don't know. We'll have to see. But I definitely am not really. I'm not buying this set. I have the New 52 Justice League. Excuse me, I don't really need another one. But I will just say objectively, they look good. You know, they look good. I still wish, like many of you, I wish that the the articulation was better in some ways, and I wish that the figures were bigger, but, you know, scale wise. But, I mean, look at what you're getting. Better paint, better sculpts than Legends. So, you know, I mean, I don't see this line failing anytime soon. I just want them to make some different choices when it comes to scale. If they scale all this stuff up, people will be buying this shit like hand over fist, or this shit will be selling hand over fist, and there'll just be no way to stop DC Collectibles because, I mean, already they're offering so much, you know, so much. Now, this Wonder Woman, like I said earlier, I am so all in. I'm gonna have a bunch of new Wonder Womans. It's kind of weird, but I love it. Grail, beautiful figure. I'm not familiar with the book she comes from because Like I said, I'm not a fan of the New 52. I just like some of the designs. I'm being straight up with you. New 52 is pretty much where my love for DC stopped. I like the designs, and I didn't even bother with the comics. I read the first year and a half worth of the basic New 52 books, and I read the first year of Earth 2, and then I gave up. The new school Arrow that looks more like the actual green Arrow, I should say, and the more red Flash. Cool looking figures, you know. I almost feel like I need to get them because they're more like movie figures, you know, and I'm all about movie figures. So we'll see. I might. You never know. Um, Barry Allen unmasked. That's pretty cool because we don't really have a Barry Allen unmasked, and now he actually has a face. Play Arts Kai. I'm not a fan of Play Arts, but I've been saying since I first saw the prototypes last year at San Diego Comic-Con, the Dawn of Justice stuff just looks amazing. It looks amazing. I mean, if I didn't know that those capes were like 3 parts and, you know, they're not connected much like the SH Figure Arts capes, I would probably be all in. I mean, they've improved the knees. The knees actually stick out like knee pads as opposed to going inward like they normally do. Um, they look good. They look really good. Even the cape having like the part up top. Excuse me, sorry. The part up top and then the part underneath it, which I don't get why they do that, but you know, whatever. It doesn't bother me as much. But those are things that detract from the price tag, you know? Just a couple inches bigger than your DC collectibles, but they want like $100 more. Like I'm not, no, nah. But you got to admit that looks good. The blue looks amazing. The red looks amazing. The the patterning looks amazing. It's just a well done figure. The thing for me about Play Arts that kills it for me is that they're way overpriced for what you get, and the engineering is not really that much better than, you know, say a Figure Arts or something. It's not even on par with Figure Arts in a lot of cases. Like the points of articulation are there, but the quality of the actual movement and usage that you get out of that articulation is not there, and that bothers me. So, you know, for the price, I'm like, what am I actually getting? When I pay, you know, $40 for a figure art, I can use just about everything. Why can't you do that with these guys, you know? But he looks really good. I mean, you're already seeing that he probably can't put his arms straight up. So he's got all that articulation, and you let a aesthetic choice like the way the cape folds. It doesn't do anything. Like, it should have been able to kind of actually bunch up to allow for his arms to actually be raised right up, you know, up at his, you know, the sides of his head like he's rushing forward and whatnot. But, you know, I'm sure fans will enjoy this. There's a better shot where you get to see the cape splayed out and you see how it's like it looks like that one's 2 pieces. I've seen it before where it's 3 pieces, but I hate those capes. They're fucking horrendous. At this scale, they should be wire and cloth. That would make all the sense in the world. But you know what? No one listens to what I'm saying. None of the toy makers are following what I have to say. So, the Batman looks amazing. Once again, you got the 2-piece cape. It's really 3 pieces if you count the piece up at the top that you fold up to plug in those other 2 pieces. But, you know, the body of the figure looks awesome. The utility belt looks awesome. He just looks cool. I mean, it's Batman. I mean, how hard is it for Japanese designers to fuck up Batman? It's like one of their dream characters. A lot of people's dream character to draw. So can't really bitch about the design. Wonder Woman, thorough as hell. I love the armor plating. It's just, she looks good, plain and simple. I saw the sword that she comes with, and the sword looked perfect too. If there is a criticism, it's that her face looks too anime and not enough Gal Gadot. But I love it. I love it. I was impressed. I didn't think that I would be, but I'm very impressed. It looks the part very much so. And this is the Arkham Knight Batgirl. I was surprised that they even went here. I'm like, oh, they're gonna do a Batgirl? Like, holy shit! I didn't think that's what they were planning, and I love it. She looks amazing, and that's probably my favorite version of Batgirl. That fucking grapple gun is stupid huge, though. Jesus Christ! All right, okay, so Barrett from Final Fantasy. I like this look. Reminds me, excuse me, of Blade almost. They actually took the Mr. T elements and kind of left those by the wayside. And he just looks more like a soldier or a merc or something. He just looks more hardcore. It's not fitting 100% with who he ends up being in like Advent Children, if we're going by the redesigns and all that. But he looks like a badass. I like it. I really dig the look of this Lara Croft figure. And I'm going to go back and tell you guys again. I like how these figures look, but they're not for me. I'm not buying them. You know what I mean? This isn't my thing as far as collecting goes. They're too expensive, and you're not getting that much, in my opinion. And their knees are terrible. That being said, if I can get Fran, I'm going to get her. That is a beautiful figure. It's a beautiful design. I'm all for it. This is the one time that the whole brown skin, white hair combination, it works really well. And there was a character I designed years ago that you will probably see in a portion of War of the Gods somewhere. You definitely will see. That's a member of a race called the Swift, and it's pretty much the same concept. Ultra 7, or Ultraman 2.7, I think is what he's called. I didn't even know this thing was coming out. I only read the first chapter of the manga. Never got around to reading the rest of it, but this is from the newer Ultraman series where we follow the exploits of the son of the original Ultraman, who in turn has abilities because of his father, but he can't grow or anything like that. So he wears a suit that does all that for him. Well, this is another character who probably has a similar background, or it's a mech, 100%. I don't know. I'll find out soon enough. But judging from the toy, it's clearly Ultra 7 with a big-ass sword in robot form, like new school robot-looking, armored-looking form. I dig it. This is the Ultra Act version of this guy. Essentially, Ultra Act is like SH Figure Arts, but for Ultraman-related stuff. Beautiful looking figure. I mean, I would almost get it and not have it be Ultra 7 because I just like the design. And I've been sleeping on that Ultraman figure, and I need to pick it up already. But yeah, beautiful figure. You already know what to expect from these guys as far as articulation, sculpt, quality overall. This is a must-get for me. So at some point, you'll probably see the review. Now, these guys, I just don't know. I don't like the design of these Ninja Turtles. I really don't. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just because I'm not really big on the cartoon past those first 5 or 6 episodes, whatever they were. I think it's 5 episodes, the first 5. I just don't like this look. They look too goofy, too happy, too not what I like about the Turtles. The NECA Turtles are the best, period. Articulation, everything. Granted, I'm sure SH Figure Arts will find a way to cram in articulation that we didn't know we needed or wanted or whatever, but I don't think they come with alternate heads. If they come with alternate heads that are mean with no pupils, then maybe these are a must-get for me. But $60 a turtle, and I already have the NECA Turtles, and I literally have 4 of every version of the Turtles except for the ones from the Imagi movie. What was that, in 2006 or 2005, I think it was? I can't remember. It's the movie that came out where they fought they were looking for the 13 monsters, and Raph and Leo had that ridiculous fight that was, and I mean ridiculous in a good way, where Raph was dressed as the Night Watcher. I don't have those turtles. I like how they look in the movie, but none of the figures captured that properly to me. But anyway, I'm not really feeling these guys. Definitely not for the price point either, you know? So, it's cool to see SH Figure Arts branching way out into other shit, but like, I don't think that this will be a go for me. Um, at the very least, if I pick up one, it'll be Leo, like I usually do, and that's it. Um, but yeah, I'm not feeling them. I'm just not feeling them. And a lot of people were going apeshit for them and stuff, but I'm like, yes, they look better than the Revoltech, Nick Turtles. Shit, everything looks better than those versions of the Nick Turtles. I just don't think that they look cool enough. I mean, at least they have the right personalities, the right heads to match the bodies. You know what I'm saying? They don't look so weird and out of place like the movie classics that we got from Playmates. Ugh. Anyway, these are the artist series. I think that's what they're calling them. I could be wrong. I've only ever seen the Thinker in reality, and the guy was calling them. The guy at the store was calling them the artist series. But it's cool to see art reflected in art that is a hobby that is art, in the form of action figures. You know what I mean? Because they're kind of similar in function. It's statues with articulation. Essentially, is what our action figures are. And these, if you put them in the right pose, no one would ever be able to tell really, unless you look for the joints. It's hard to really tell that is not just a sculpture. They did a good job. These are by Figma. Figma is one of my go-tos. I love what Figma does. They do a good job. I mean, sometimes they do better than other times because it's like the more modern stuff has detailing that works better than previous stuff. But I love Figma. They do good stuff. This is the Samus Aran figure in the Zero suit. Obviously, there's no paint, and the paint's going to do the majority of the work for this because the suit has that crazy finish, But it looks good. Obviously, the articulation will be there, and so will the sculpt. She is kind of an anime-style chick, as in, simplistic features and such, and detail with all the female, parts and stuff. Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty. These are the Russian Spetsnaz soldiers. I'm going to buy bootlegs of these guys. I'm sorry. Because 40 to 50 a pop for just infantry? No. It's cool to see them, though, but I'm just going to buy a shitload of black or gray or even olive green joints and call it a day. Too expensive. But it'll be cool to have them. Link. Another Link. So for those of you who want a younger, more cartoony Link, here you go. Figma did previous Link that is the more like Ocarina of Time, what's the other one? Zelda Gaiden kind of look where he's grown and he looks kind of heroic and shit. I've never been a big Zelda person past Ocarina of Time. That's my honest to goodness, assessment. That's the way it is for me. I think these are Toynami's Voltron Force. It's the stealth Voltron in the back with a flaming sword, and then the standard Voltron lions in the front. I might look into this because I gave my 28-inch or 20-inch Voltron from the third dimension. I gave that one to Agent O when I thought I wasn't coming back to Jersey, and then or coming back from Jersey, and then when I ended up moving back, I just was like, he didn't want to give it up, so I was like, whatever, just keep it. It's cool. So I got to get another big ass Voltron. And here, I don't remember the company that did this. So in the comments, if you remember who this is or you know who this is, let me know. But XA did one years ago that was like this, that was really good looking, and this one looks really good too. Burning Godzilla. I like it. If it's not super expensive, I might pick this thing up. And I know this is a running gag with, or not gag, but a running thing when I talk about figures is price. But you got to remember, these things, they're supposed to gain value after you buy it. They're not supposed to come out at the insane price point and then you're supposed to believe that the value goes up. That's bullshit. Anyway, Marvel Select. They're actually bringing out a bunch of awesome figures, and I think that this is going to be one that I might get. I mean, I already have what I consider the best Black Panther figure, and that's the original Toy Biz Marvel Legends version with the gold claws and gold accents all over the place and the cape. But if you want a classic one, this is pretty cool. And it'd be cool to have him to go along with a Captain America or any of their classic Marvel heroes. You know what I mean? Because I mean, this is something that for whatever reason, we've got two versions now. We've got this. I'm sorry, we have the 3 3/4 inch if you like that sort of thing. But we have this and we have the Marvel Legends version. I know I'll prefer this to the Marvel Legends because Marvel Select makes superior figures. Plain and simple. Plain and simple, no contest. Here is their World War II Cap. I dig it. I dig it a lot. If he wasn't so big, it'd be my default Cap. But I dig it. The shield is proper. The pockets and pouches are proper. Even the coloring, that burgundy color, because that was the time period, it works. I don't like that so much now when they make Cap have muted colors now because the flag is bright. He's reflecting that, so he should have the bright red, white, and blue. But, you know, or even like just more chromatic. It can be on the darker side as far as like value, but on the chroma side, it should still be a lot more, blue. But this is amazing looking. That freaking base / diorama is fucking awesome. I mean, and these pictures actually, for a change, some really good pictures. And I'm pretty sure these are fan images. I could be wrong, but regardless, they're still well done images, and they look his articulation just looks natural. That's what I like. I like when companies achieve the human element with the articulation. You know, the anatomy, the articulation all work together, and they look natural. Because that's the problem with Marvel Legends, is that a lot of times they have all this articulation, but they don't look natural. You know what I mean? No matter how well you can photograph a figure, if the figure itself doesn't have the right kind of joints, I don't even want to hear it. Don't even bother. And that's just me. I know a lot of people don't care, and a lot of people will still give, Hasbro props for their Marvel Legends, regardless of how good or bad, the sculpt is, how good or bad the articulation is, and how well it works with the sculpt or bad it works with, or how much it doesn't work with the sculpt. This is the Winter Soldier these are the Civil War figures. I fucking love it. Love it. Every single one that I've seen, even Iron Man, and I don't give a shit about Iron Man. They all look good. Cap especially looks good. I like the fact that they're giving you a Winter Soldier to go along with your Marvel Select Cap. Great stuff. Great stuff. The top-notch detail. The likenesses are on point. I like it. And it's funny because a lot of people complain about likenesses for the sake of complaining, and it's kind of like you're staring at it so hard because you want to find a problem with the likeness. But with Marvel Select, typically they actually nail their likenesses. NECA is the same way. I love what I'm seeing. These guys look amazing. Count me in for these motherfuckers, for real. Marvel Select is killing it with their stuff. I mean, it's like Marvel Select and NECA are giving you the same grade of figure, with NECA being a few points but in front because of the amount of figure. I would say Marvel Select does a better job because their figures don't fall apart. I think I've had one figure from Marvel Select have an issue, and that was the Wolverine figure from the Wolverine. Here are their Ghostbusters figures with their diorama pieces all combined into the roof of the classic apartment complex that Dana Barrett lived in, and that ended up being a gateway to bringing Gozer into our world. Or I'm sorry, Zool. Zool. That shit looks amazing. And this is what I'm talking about when I say they always do a better job. I mean, they shat all over Mattel's versions. Look at that shit. Everybody's there. And they're all pretty, articulated. You got multiple faces for Slimer. You got different types of streams. It's a must-get if you like Ghostbusters. And Ghostbusters is one of those perfect films that 95% of people like. So I don't see why you wouldn't get them. And these guys aren't that expensive. I've seen them at the comic book store for $17.99 a piece. And when you see the size of the little packet or the package that they come in, it's like, damn. I just put these in here because it's like, man, that shoe polish 5 o'clock shadow is fucking hilarious. He's got hair growing up the sides of his nose. That is hilarious. That shit looks bad. I mean, this is a Marvel Select figure, but it looks kind of like, oh, like they just hurried up. But then the sad thing is that David Duchovny as Mulder looks horrible. Then you move over to, what is her name? Jillian Davis? Jillian, whatever. When you go over to Scully, Scully looks fucking amazing. I was like, wow, that looks just like her. I like that. Anyway, some Mattel stuff. Mattel has the Thundercats license. This is what they looked like initially, the first picture, and this is what they look like now. They look cool. I mean, they look roided the fuck out, but it doesn't look bad, in my opinion. I don't have a problem with them. I'll probably pick up the guys that I don't already have. You know what I mean? Um, there's a couple of Star Wars figures from, I want to say Mayfex. Yeah, those are Mayfex stands. You got a Stormtrooper, which looks pretty nice. I think that is a First Order Stormtrooper. And then you can see the cape of Boba Fett, which I'll show you in the next one. And this is just, I know there's Star Wars folks out there, so I figured let me include this. Plus, ODC is a big Star Wars person. We were talking about the Mayfex figures a while back, a couple days ago. These are great looking figures. Mayfex is actually getting better. I was like all out when they did their Dark Knight figure and it was falling apart and shit. And then I didn't get the 2.0. Apparently, the 2.0 is probably good. Because when I got the Amazing Spider-Man 2 Spider-Man figure, it's an amazing figure. I have no issues with it. So I will definitely be getting into the Dawn of Justice figures, which I will get into here in a second. But yeah, cool looking Boba Fett. Okay. So before I get to the Mayfex Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman, Dawn of Justice figures, I want to look again at the DC collectible ones and point out that the price tag on these guys is supposed to be in the 40s. So if they're as, posable as they're supposed to be, this is a good alternative, but I can't believe that they're going to be better than the Mayfexes. You know what I mean? Or be in the same league as the Mayfex figures. I mean, I hope they are, but I doubt it. They're just this, I don't know. American figures just don't do it in terms of matching the engineering of the Japanese figures. And they want that money, so they're trying to make figures that cost that amount, but I just don't think you're going to get it. I mean, I hope so. Don't get me wrong, because if they manage to fit that bill, I'll be really happy. But I don't know. It's really windy tonight, man. It's crazy. Anyway, they look so good though. God, they look good. That's why I had to give a second look at these guys before I start talking about the Mayfex ones, because the Mayfex ones look good. The only one I have a problem with is Superman. His body looks kind of funky. And I know that is in efforts to give him the articulation that we probably would expect from a Japanese figure that we don't normally see in American figures, let alone Superman figures. But the SH Figure Art Superman looked really good, and the silhouette was on point. So I don't know why they can't do it. So Mayfex, here's the Mayfex Batman. This is kind of a closer up image. I got these images from Toy News International. Please don't sue me. I don't know. They look good. I like the feel of textures. And if you notice, we don't get to see a Dawn of Justice DC Collectibles Batman, which is strange. But I like this. This is a must-get for me. So she just looks great. They did such a good job capturing the essence of the character. The shield is on point. It's actually on the proper arm. She's right-handed, so the sword would be in her right hand. The shield would be on her left. And as you can see, the bird is facing the proper way, so it looks right. And I'm pretty sure it'll probably be able to rotate on, like the shield itself will be connected to a back piece that can rotate so that you can make it face the way you want it to face. And then as you can see with Superman, he actually has the right proportions. I still think his hips are a little big, but I mean, he looks close enough. I love it. Texture all over the place. I mean, that light is fucking harsh, but It looks good. Looks so good. And then cloth capes with wire in them. That just makes me so happy. Because, you know, if I want to pose him, the cape can have character on its own. That's how you do it, folks. And then here is the bat power suit. It looks good. It looks really fucking good. I mean, like, and if it'll probably have the level of posability that the smaller suit bodies have. You can't complain. This is what you want, you know. And durability. That's the other thing that I've noticed from Mafex is after the Dark Knight, you know, debacle with the first Dark Knight figure, they actually spent some time making sure that these figures felt more substantial, and I thank them for that. They make sure that the figures build quality is up to stuff, and you know, the figure's not going to fall apart on you just doing basic things. That makes me extremely happy because that's why we buy these things. I don't know. I'm impressed and I'm excited, and we only got a couple weeks to go before we actually get to see the damn thing. I'm happy. Next up, Toynami somehow got the acquired the Robotech license along with Voltron, so we're getting a resurgence of Voltron and Robotech figures, which is pretty cool. You've got transforming Veritex and the heavies, and you've got little figures of the main characters from the show. Now, Robotech, it's been over what 20 years since I've watched like the classic Robotech, so I don't remember shit except for Roy Fokker, this chick right here, Lynn Minmay, and Rick Hunter. I don't even remember the other chick. The I think her last name was Jameson. I can't remember. The brown haired chick. I can't remember her name for the life of me. I didn't feel the need to look it up, but these are quality looking figures. If they have decent posability, and they look like they're 3 and 3/4/4 inch scale. You know what I mean? So if that's the case, or 4 inch scale, that's cool. I have no issues with that. Welcome to my to my Joe verse. You know what I mean? They look good. They're really good. I mean, if he has a different head, he might be 6 inches, and they just have the anatomy of what looks like a 3 and 3/4 inch figure. But I could be wrong. You know, I just can't tell because there's nothing to compare them to other than that stand. And that stand gives me the impression that they're bigger figures. Either way, a lot of people who, you know, Robotech has like kind of one of those followings that just never went anywhere. Like Macross in general, it just seems like everybody who liked it back in the day continued liking it to, you know, to this point. There's things about it that just transcend generations. So, you know, this is a big, kind of a big deal, and probably a big deal for many people because there's a lot of fans of Macross, you know, and Robotech, the American version. And there's also a lot of fans of Exo Squad. So, and it's funny because we were just talking about this earlier in the video. So there's a lot here for you to dig into, you know what I'm saying? A lot of stuff for you to digest as far as, you know, getting your fix for Robotech, which I'm pretty happy to see them do this. We need this with more lines. See, like, I don't even remember this chick. And I remember seeing her. I don't remember her name. I want the Macross Plus characters. God, I love that shit. But fucking Ishtar. Shit. Anyway, dope. I love the designs. I love the way that they are painted. The articulation looks really good. Let's just hope that the build quality is up to snuff. And Toynami kind of has that American toy company aesthetic where the characters are made of like thick plastic. It's not hollow, and the build quality usually seems pretty good. So chances are these are going to be quality figures. They're not going to be shitty. They're not going to be, you know, cheaply made. So I think this will be made of win. I found more Thundercats images, just a couple that I felt like pointing out, and one of them is also a Masters of the Universe image. So we got Jackalman. I like the way that looks. Even though Jackalman was taller and had skinny legs and a bigger upper body, the figures were kind of large. So if we're going by the figure logic, then this fits perfectly. I don't have any issues with that. Same goes for Pumaira, who you'll see in just a second. She looks just like her cartoon counterpart. And if you remember correctly, if I remember correctly, and if you guys remember also, the team that did Thundercats and Silverhawks, they drew people pretty thick and very kind of massive. You know, their musculature was like, ugh, like freaking shot put throwers and shit for the girls, and like freaking gymnasts for some of the girls also. And then the guys all look like bodybuilders, uh, or gymnasts. I guess we could say that too. Or they just look like powerful people. Um, these guys are no different. I really like the way she looks. She looks cool. She was one of my favorites. I did a project in college where in animation and in one of my design, I think it was 2D design classes, where I was kind of tasked with redesigning the Thundercats, and I had so much fun with Pumaira. I'll find that picture someday and put it up so you guys can check it out. But yeah, this doesn't look bad. Here's the He-Man picture. I just don't know who this person is. I want to say it's like Horde Prime, probably the cartoon version, but like the original cartoon version, because this is from the Filmation line, because that's what Masters of the Universe classics have turned into. There's like, this is the Filmation version of the the line. Um, Looks good. I mean, I have no idea who she is. Up until I saw that head, I had no idea there was a woman underneath that. So hey, that's a cool one. That might be worth getting. And then Mumra, that might be definitely worth getting for those of us who have the other two Mumras from the classics that Bandai did, because we got him, all fully bushmanned out. Now we need him all mummified and skinny. I have the original LJN one, but that's kind of a shitty figure. I mean, it's nostalgic, but it's shitty as far as articulation and such. But yeah, these are the ones that I definitely feel like I have to get. You know what I mean? And then probably old school Panthro. I might end up getting the old school team in general, because I have the new school team minus the twins. Now, if they come around with the twins, because if they're gonna do Thundercat, they're probably gonna do all eras. And if they make the twins and they make Groon and Hachiman, I'll be so happy. Some of those characters I don't give a shit about, but you know. Anyway, on to Hasbro and Marvel Legends. Now, you know me, you know I like the movie Legends. I did not like the Avengers stuff because they recycled too much for them. But this looks phenomenal. This Black Panther looks so good. Um, he's a must get. I could care less about the rest of the line, but he is a must get. Simply, straight up, plain and simple must get. Um, Excuse me. Scarlet Witch might be a must get. I don't know. This cap, it's the third time that they're using this fucking, these parts and just repainting it. So I'm gonna wait and get the re-release SH Figuarts version that has the different colored. It's a repaint and a slightly retooled version of the Avengers, cap. And yeah, I'm just gonna go from there. Iron Man, I could give two shits about Iron Man. There's too many Iron Mans on the market. You know what I mean? And most of those suits don't do shit different from the other ones. They're just cosmetically different. So I'm not jumping on it. These images look good though. They look really good. They make the figures look like they're of a different level of quality, which is why I had to acknowledge them, because I saw these pictures and I was like, shit, these actually look good. But to be fair, their movie figures almost always look great. Here's Scarlet Witch. I'm going to get this figure and use her as somebody else. Because that's not her costume. That's just clothes that she'll appear in the film. Why they didn't put her in her, like, Avengers costume, I mean, that pisses me off. I think this is what she's going to look like in Civil War, but I want to see when she's in her costume in Civil War, because I know there's parts where they're dressed down. But it looks good. Of course, they had to do a Deadpool. They'd be stupid not to. It looks all right. It looks a lot better than the last ones, but I'm seeing Bucky Cap parts, and I just, you know me, I'm tired of reused parts. You know, it seems to be too big of a trend these days. And if you're going to do that, then you should keep costs down because you're not losing any money because you're not spending any money. But for you to reuse parts and then charge us more, I'm not, no. Then there's this chick from Runaways. I forgot her name, Nico something or other. I guess because Doctor Strange is coming out and she's a magic user, they're trying to put her out there. And I don't know. I guess it's a good design if you want to have, like, for those of us who collect Akiba Ranger, there's your Umaria right there. You know what I mean? Like, you could switch it up. Um, I don't really think, you know, she was a good choice, but hey, whatever. Like I said, multiple purposes. Here's another look of at the character. You know, womp womp. Here's a newer Havoc. Once again, they're reusing parts. I'm not even going to go through all the parts that are being reused, but you guys know the parts. You can see it for you hardcore Legends folks. You know who it is. I'm not feeling it. It's just, like I said, it's not unique enough, but it's cool that they're doing Havoc because, you know, that might mean that we'll get a 90s Cyclops maybe at some point. Because this is their X-Men line. A decent Iceman. I was actually surprised about this one. They actually are doing a decent fucking Iceman figure. It's about goddamn time. You know what I mean? Like, why is this so difficult? Why has it been such a hard road for them to just give us the basic figure that they start from in clear form, like the medium-sized basic body? Don't put any detail on it. Cast it in clear plastic and call it a day. Kitty Pryde, finally, like a healthy Kitty Pryde. And that looks awesome. And that's the costume, one of the costumes that we were told we would never see on screen. And courtesy of the Deadpool film and, you know, their cast and crew, we got to see that. So maybe we'll see more of that. But yeah, this is pretty cool. And you've got Lockheed with her. This is that era of the beginning of the era that I was really big into X-Men. I'm skipping around, so don't be mad, don't be annoyed. This is a Civil War piece right here. It's Cap with his bike. I think it's cool that they did this. I hope that and it looks like it's the 6-inch scale figure. If that's the case, then this is a must-get. Because for how long have we been waiting for Cap's bike? You know, we've all went out, bought Maisto bikes and tried to fit the shield in between stuff, or you put stick tack on the freaking headlight and then put the shield sticking off of it. You know, like, can we finally get the damn bike? Like, for real. God, that was a long time coming. And then here is an awesome Hobgoblin on a shitty glider. Hasbro just can't do it. They just can't give you full-on quality. They just have to fuck up in some kind of way. He's got a fireball. His cape is tattered. The face looks right. Like, this is Jason Philip Macendale style. And this is cool. But the fucking gliders, horrendous. Those gliders were huge in the comics. And that's what they give us? Terrible. Here's another Spider-Man, but I think the difference with this one is that it's a teenage body. And there's also, and you'll see him briefly here, and then I actually gave him his own, a moment of his own. It's Miles Morales. You're going to see they use this same body, similar head and everything, just different paint for Miles Morales, which is pretty slick because they do have the same build. You know, they're both small guys, and there's a quick look at the Spider-Man from another angle. He looks like a kid. I think that's awesome. Here he is from another angle. It's like they stubified things and made him, instead of making him long and lean, they kind of smushed things and shortened his wrists and shortened his ankles and such. And I like the look of this. If Spider-Man's going to be a kid, at least have the figures reflect this. You know what I'm saying? So props to them for doing that. But, you know, with they giveth and then they taketh away. You've seen Civil War shit, and they keep on neglecting the freaking Falcon. Now, I don't know if this is a 6-inch figure, and it might be. It looks like he has double jointed legs, or knees, I mean. But they keep giving us the 3 3/4-inch versions of him, but maybe this is finally a 6-inch version. It kind of looks like it's 6-inch if it's next to Cap on the bike. I'm kind of I'm impressed that they finally did this, and I like the color scheme. Here's another look at that Scarlet Witch again. I really like her. The look, She really does look like whatever Olsen sister that is. Um, it's pretty cool that they were able to pull this off. But as I said before, movie figures tend to be properly done. It's the standard comic book figures that tend to take 50 tries before they even get remotely close to being right. My problem is that I don't understand how people can afford to buy the same figure 50 billion times as they fuck up and don't try to fix what they did. And they keep buying them until they get the really awesome, properly done version. That's the problem I have. That's the part where I'm just like, really? Um, but this looks good. I wish they would just do her in her fucking Avengers costume, her superhero suit, you know? That'd be awesome. Here's a Cable figure. Now, this Cable figure, me and ODC were looking at it, and we realized that that is Drax just retooled. The legs, the torso, even the head. They added hair, and they added the cybernetics on the side of his face. I mean, it's cool as far as Cables go because it looks the part, but if you have the Drax figure, you're going to notice all the issues. And not the standard Marvel Legends Drax, but the movie Batista version of Drax. So, you know, I'm not really that cool with that. But, you know, hey, this is how they do things. The fan base seems to love that. There's another look at Kitty Pryde, Deadpool, Havoc, Jean Grey, Iceman, a little bit of Cable, and Rogue you see in the background. 90s Rogue. This is a must get. If I see her in the store, I will get her, even if she has shitty paint and all that stuff. I've been conditioned enough, and I hate to admit that you know she's one of those characters they've held over my head long enough, and I'm gonna have her in my collection. This Deadpool, it's a decent figure. I've never been a fan of Deadpool. And right now, I think the internet's going crazy with Deadpool because a lot of people don't watch action films. And if they did, then they'd be like, oh, you know, this shit's not really that new. But because they don't, they're like, wow, this is amazing. It's freaking, you know, I don't know. It's like life changing. It's world breaking. And it's like, nah, there's a whole freaking ongoing genre of films like this. You just happen to see the one that starred a costumed character. But I'll do more about that in another video. But the figures look decent, and you know how the mock-ups always look decent. Even the way they're posed, I'm actually impressed because typically they pose them like shit, and they didn't do that here. They actually posed them in a way that looked pretty damn good. So, you know, props to them for that. Excuse me. I'm a little bit surprised, but you know, props to them for doing that. The presentation looks good, but just understand that when you see them in the store for real, they're not even going to look halfway as good as this. Not even halfway. Rogue again. She looks awesome. I like that she has a grown, you know, sexy lady body, but I don't understand why Jean Grey doesn't have the grown woman sexy body when that's how she was drawn. You know what I mean? Like all through the 90s, through most stories that she was in, when Madureira drew her, when Jim Lee drew her, when Epting drew her, when it didn't matter who was drawing her. Even in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, she's got a sexy lady body. She's got like that supermodel, the thick supermodel body that doesn't exist, that we don't hardly ever see. You know, you see it with porn stars, but you don't see it with supermodels because typically they're all skinny. Instead, she's got this weird kind of teenage girl build, and I just don't like that shit. I didn't like it on the Jim Lee version, and I definitely don't like it on this version. Anyway, here's the 12-inch Icon series for Marvel Legends, or 12-inch Legends. People are going apeshit about this, and I'm like, you guys just don't seem to understand the concept of quality, quantity, and price. The figures are going to have all kinds of issues, but they're going to ask for twice the price. It doesn't seem logical to even jump on this, but I mean, if you've followed my page, you know that I point out a lot of the illogical tendencies of longtime Marvel Legends fans, and you know, I've pointed out that it's more about the characters and not so much about the figure. Here is Silk, whack. I mean, there's a lot of people who seem to like Spider-Verse. I thought it was lame. It's just too much of the same shit over and over and over. And that's what this era has been for Spider-Man. It's like a fucking endless cycle of mediocre stories being recycled and retold in different ways. And I'm just like, Silk is not really that interesting of a character to me. And her suit design is not that awesome to me either. But if you want that, here you go. Iron Fist. This is an Iron Fist figure on the Pizza Spider-Man body. It actually looks like it'll work. It's the right musculature. You know, he's got the long, kind of skinny torso and, you know, smaller arms that are pretty muscular. Like, that works. I mean, if we're going to get another Spider-Man that uses its own body, it makes sense to give it to the only other person with that wiry, kind of strange build. So, yeah, props to them for that. This isn't too weird. Here's the Hobgoblin again. I love the way this looks. It looks like they dug up the standard Hobgoblin and just changed the boots and changed the head and, you know, recolored the parts or used different plastic for the poured different plastic into the mold. But hey, it's Hobgoblin. It looks good. You know, classic Spider-Man. I might have to get that. Shit, I hunted down Carnage. I may as well get this. It's just that fucking glider. God damn, that glider's terrible. Miles Morales. This is a must get because that looks like a 13-year-old boy. Much like how DCUC did not nail the 10-year-old boy with Damian Wayne. Damian Wayne looked like he ate steroids for breakfast, lunch, and dinner and then topped it off with fucking mortar. Like, it makes no sense that they can't get the teenage body properly. But finally we got one, so this will be a must get for many people, no matter what they say about Miles, you know? It's pretty good. Pretty good. Good shit. Here's a goofy looking Tron-esque cap. We're going to ignore that. I don't know why I put that in there. Movie Iron Man. In the background, you see a classic Nick Fury. Yeah. Marvel Legends, everybody. Same shit, costing you more money. Star Wars Black. You guys know the characters. I'm not a huge Star Wars person. I like watching the shows. They're entertaining. I don't remember names for most of these guys, but the figures look dope. They're dipping into Rebels. And I mean, it's like they wholeheartedly dug into Rebels. And I think it's kind of strange. Like, they should have kind of just included a handful of characters and then just said, bloop, let's move in. But it looks like a big chunk of the wave will be Rebels. Here is Finn in his Stormtrooper, you know, gear. And I think the helmet does have the blood splatter or, you know, smears on it. Looks pretty cool. I was kind of like, you know, impressed that they actually did that with Finn. There's like, what, 2 versions of Finn and there's a third one on the way? So, or maybe I could be wrong. Maybe there's already the 3 versions out. I just know there's one with a lightsaber and he's got a better head sculpt. You know, I don't know. Star Wars Black for me is kind of just like, you know, there they are. If if it suits your fancy, you pick them up. I will admit that the sculpts and the paint they blow Marvel Legends out of the fucking water. They blow them out of the galaxy. It's like these guys are trying to give you a good product for $20, and a lot of the figures tend to look better than $20. I mean, look at these, and these guys have articulation. And the articulation works with the sculpt. They didn't just cut joints into the sculpt. That's something that both Mattel and Hasbro have issues with, but for whatever reason, this team does not have that issue. I mean, not all across the board, put it like that. I'm impressed. I am impressed. I know that's Kanan. I'm easily really blown away with that particular wave in the series, you know. Stormtroopers. If they had proper articulation, and Stormtroopers would be awesome, and I would understand what all the rage is about, or all the raving is about, but I don't get it the way it is. It's like people are going apeshit over poorly designed, like a cool design that was poorly executed in figure form. Is that Malgus? No, that's not Malgus. I forgot this dude's name. Revan? Um, I don't remember. Anyway, he looks cool. A lot of people don't like the cape. What are you gonna do? It looks like what the drawings look like. Just light him the right way when you take pictures. And for the rest of you to just gonna put him on a shelf and look at him from afar, light him properly and it will look good, you know? Um, that's about it. I don't even remember this chick's name. But I like the look of the figure. You know, she still has a hint of animated series to her, and you know, proportion wise, but you can see they took the elements from the model in the CG cartoon and tried to translate them a little bit more realistically. I mean, you can tell the color palette kind of defies what you usually see in Star Wars, but it looks good. I will not lie. It looks really good. I was actually impressed because I was thinking that I think that's the Mandalorian chick. Yeah, that's the Mandalorian. Her helmet's down there on the ground. Um, I wasn't impressed at first, and then I was like, you know, the more I thought about it, I was like, huh, maybe this is going to be, you know, something cool. So she might be another one I might pick up just to have and put her in another display as another character. That's the way my mind handles Star Wars. And then to end everything, here is a really, really weird, homely looking ass Princess Leia. Um, I guess this was their response to, you know, Disney wanting to remove Slave Leia from the hearts and minds of many Star Wars geeks worldwide. Um, I guess, you know, whatever. A lot of us could have a lot of people I know have already bought Slave Leia a bunch of times, especially once they made a big stink about her. So it doesn't really surprise me. But yeah, there you have it. That is complete our thoughts, my thoughts, you know, thoughts on Toyfair 2016, the things that caught my attention. I didn't really put too much anime stuff, or I'm sorry, tokusatsu stuff in there because a lot of it I'm in the process of having, and I'm just going to review that stuff. And you already know which stuff is more along the lines of what I'm interested in. But I am going to do a probably a Winter Wonderfest um, thoughts video where I put up, you know, upcoming Japanese figures and such that I plan on picking up that, you know, fit into my collection. You know, they have the aesthetics that I'm looking for in a figure, the articulation, engineering, etc. that I look for in figures. So I will include that in probably, you know, a video sometime here in the next couple months or weeks or month or so, something like that. Um, a lot of stuff is going on right now, and there might be a brief pause for a little while here in the next couple weeks, and then in the summertime there may be another pause. Um, I have a relative, very, very cool guy, my father-in-law. Well, one of my father-in-laws, and he is on his last legs, and you know, sorry to bring this all down, but it's been pretty rough. So we're trying to focus on, you know, you got to be there for the family. And the rough part for me is that I started I'm in a government job that has a 180-day probation period, and I am in my second month of that probation. It's 6 months, so I won't even be able to. I probably will be able to go to, you know, whatever is held during the summertime, which is why I mentioned a pause. But anything that happens in the present, I won't be able to be there. You know, my wife, she and the older son flew out to Minneapolis to, you know, be with him, um, but I can't, which kind of bothers me. So I'm gonna try to, you know, I live in this world to help, like I said, keep me uh, afloat in all the craziness that goes on in the real, straight up, regular world. You know what I mean? So I will be making videos and such to try and kind of escape and such. But typically, um, you know, I'm a family dude, so this is tough not being able to be 100% involved, especially for my wife. My wife is my like right hand. I can't, you know what I mean? Like I can do things without her, but I would it's more fun to do things with her, and to it's more I feel good when I'm by her side, and at the very least, if I can comfort her, that makes me happy. So like I said, you might see a pause in videos for a while here and there, but I will be coming back. I will continue putting out stuff. There may not be a pause. I may be able to create a schedule to just release stuff because I have a lot of reviews already in the chamber, and I could just fire those out, and maybe that will help cover the time that I'll be away. I've still got my Bruce Lee came in, so that review's coming. Sarah Connor came in. My Gods and Monsters, Batman and Superman will be here. Wonder Woman is on her way. I've got Earth 2 figures on the way. Um, I've got a very cool mecha, a Revoltech mecha, my second Revoltech figure, period. Um, I've got a couple more SH Figure Arts to do, DC collectible stuff. I've got Doomsday. I've had Doomsday since Christmas time, and I just haven't reviewed him yet. So I'm gonna do a bunch of quick reviews, fire those out, and let you guys see what I think. So anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for sitting through all of this craziness, and I appreciate it. I'm doing this stuff so that you and I can have the kind of conversation that geeks have in person. So I hope you guys dig it. And as usual, that is it for me. You guys have been great. I will catch you on the next video. Peace outside.